Welcome to Totally Blitz Podcast. We're about to break down UFC 306 Noche. It was a hell of an event overall. We're about to break down everything from the fights to the show itself. Y'all know what I mean. If you know, you know. But as always, go down, like and subscribe. Comment what you thought for the card, how you thought for the event, what it means for MMA and the fights and for the future. Let us know. I'm Paul Pickle Winham Concha, and I'm joined with.
You already know, man. It's that boy Kev. Alkaline water boy, so boy. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I don't think I've ever done this. But finally I get to do this. Finally.
It is mine. Yeah, nah, that
The,
shit.
the
You got
championship
it
has
either.
come back to the red corner, man. Every championship fight, Paul, I feel like I was calling bullshit. Even the Alexa Grasso championship fight, I've been calling bullshit. But I knew Merab was gonna get that shit done for a nigga. I knew Merab was gonna hold a nigga down. I knew Merab was gonna wrestle his ass off. So finally, we got the belt back. You feel me? It feels good, man. Feels good. Team Longo and all them boys. We back to holding this bantamweight championship like we supposed to. Feels good, man. How'd you enjoy the MMA community after this card?
Oh, I've honestly enjoyed it. Sean got a little bit of uh got put in his place in front of his fans. Not I don't dislike Sean as much as I dislike his fans. And there's like cloud of oblivion they live on like Sean is the greatest fighter in the world. And because he had the belt over Aljo, we couldn't say nothing. We're like,
Nothing.
I'll be back. Like I said, I'll be back. Yeah, I know. And then Merab was like, oh yeah. And I was just hoping and praying that Merab was healthy enough through camp to make it through this fight, to make it to the fight. And thankfully he did. So but yeah, I'm just happy to see Sean O'Malley's fans can finally shut up, even though they got worse because they're not shutting up. And now it's like, hey, I was quiet whenever I was down. Now it's your turn. Big Valentina. I wish we had Gator here because Gator was talking out his neck, out the wazoo about Valentina, saying that people only like her because her name sounds like Valentine's Day.
Yeah, crazy. I hate to agree with Gator. Why y'all be letting me agree with Gator, man?
That was so. I was really hoping to see him. I mean, I think was I the only one that took Valentina on the picks.
Nah, you and Romeo took Valentina.
Romeo took, yeah,
We
big
took Grass.
strong, big strong woman. And she showed that spirit. But yeah, we can get into that, the T City and everything else later. But Kev, being a lot of people don't know, but my boy Kev is in the college for the what is your
See, shout out. Hey, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, boys.
I don't
Shout
even
out
know.
Paul. Hey, shout out Paul. Fun fact: a lot of people don't know this, but me and Paul have been friends since like 10th grade. And when we first moved out of our we both moved out of our parents' school. We went straight to college, and we both went to the same school. And fast forward 8 years later, I still go to that school. So I go to school for digital media. Yeah, I go to school for digital media technology, and I'm not gonna lie to you. I think Paul is probably the only person. Paul and my mom are probably the only people in the world that can answer what Kevin goes to school for. It's usually just he goes to school in Gainesville, but like there's only a handful of people that know what I actually go to school for. So, as a digital media and technology major, the easiest way to say it is that the visual effects for the sphere and everything like that. I've been working with that technology since it first came out, and that's what my school has one of those LED walls. But the sphere is pretty much the equivalent to the Super Bowl of
I was
everything that we go
literally
to school
just
for.
about to ask you that. I was like, as a digital person, would you consider this your Super Bowl?
That's the greatest shit I've ever seen. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, I would love to sit there and be like, I'm gassing, I'm dick riding. I would love to start saying John Jones is the pound for pound goat after this. Like, I would love to be some lame ass motherfucker. But no, bro, I was genuinely just understanding that it took them 4 months just to figure out how exactly gonna like this bitch. Just to like this motherfucker. Like, you understand, like, this is cutting edge technology, and everything they did is they just went out on a leap of faith. They spent $20 million on a double just to not only so the production in house was good, but the production TV wise was for the production on TV was even better. So like they really took time, and just knowing the assets that they took, the time that it took to make it, the teams that they had to put together, and the chance that they only rehearsed that bitch on Thursday. Like Joe Rogan didn't see it, DC didn't see it. Only John Anik and Dana knew what the fuck was going on, and probably, of course, other people on the team. But from what we see, Front Street, motherfucking Bruce Buffer never seen it. Like this is all like first time cutting edge. Like they just made a lot of prices go up for some production companies because now it's like, okay, there's a new standard. We can match that. And all that shit was made in the same engine, or the Unreal Engine that they use for these fucking video games. So you're legitimately in a video game all year. Like when Norma Dumont and Irene Aldana came and they got the shit started, that was legitimately feeling like you're in more. The closest thing we're gonna get to being in Mortal Kombat.
Oh yeah, that when the show started, that I as an average viewer, I thought it was pretty dope. Like sitting back, and it's nice to see them trying to do other things to grow the sport. Like this was not just their sport, but just like combat sports in general. Because boxing has done it with the same people. The Turk, Mr. Turkman himself, he over there in boxing, he does those crazy events. And no, they haven't done the spear, but they did like a whole Eminem concert before Bud walks out. Fucking Lil Baby during the Fury Nagano fight. And then like the moving stages and like the fireworks that like they're doing these great. At the last box in the Bud fight, they were doing raffles for people to win cars, and like that was like how mind blown Marcus was. It's like how you're mind blown about what they just did for them. Was he was like, bro, they're making this such into like a general fandom, like because they do that at basketball games all the time, NFL games all the time, like the fact that boxing just is like doing these other things, and then now UFC put on the fucking mega show of shows. Like, it's gonna be a tough act to follow. It kind of sucks that the bill of the card wasn't like. It would have been nice to have some like great Mexican fighters that were like be able to build with it because it was for Noche and everything. I'm not saying none of the fighters brought it. The prelims we get into is gonna be they were fucking banging, bro. They put on for the card. And we had two belts and two title changes. So overall the card was good. But watching for the spear aspect, I thought it was pretty dope. Like everything, I just didn't know what to expect. So there were certain points where I thought there was gonna maybe be a little bit more, but knowing how hard it is, I do the basic of technology shit for the podcast, the basics. So like, I know how time consuming and long that is. So like, looking at it from a different point of view is like, oh yeah, like this was not that it wasn't easy, but like they didn't have to do this either, and they chose to.
And I would love to say it was a flawless event. It was a flawless production, but they did have one mistake.
Yeah, word on the street says it might not even been a mistake. It might have been a little stray, a little pew pew.
But yeah, that boy Terrence Crawford was in the crowd with Turk, and they boy said Kendrick Lamar, and I'm pretty sure they started playing Not Like Us. I could be tripping. Maybe it was in my head, but like I heard that.
They probably did, but they probably started playing it in the on the pay-per-view, and the production team's like, "Oh, we cooked with this one." You know, they probably high-fived in the back, like, "Yeah, yeah."
Because they showed them last too. Because they always show the last person last so they could be the longest. They did that.
They fade to commercial or whatever they do. Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not mad at people that saying that there was a slight that might have happened because the whole Francis Ngannou shit in the past. Like the UFC has done slight shit like that in the past, but I think that was a genuine mistake. Like a nigga looked at that shit and said, "Yo, these niggas got Kendrick Lamar at the speaker right now." Like,
oh, and what else about the sphere, brother? They were like like whenever they did like the over like Mexico City, but like the flag colors, like the thing you clipped up for the
thread.
Yeah, like that shit was I was like it really is mind blowing. Like not mind blowing, but it's really like that's art right there.
Yeah, if I had the 5 bands, I would have slipped.
Yeah,
it's not even on, and that was the thing because like they probably stay after. The two, because we could go into the boxing versus UFC next, right? So like I came in this bitch screaming, "Hey, draw your motherfucking line in the sand Saturday, niggas, we across the street." Like, you feel me? Like I pulled up on the boxing episode just to let niggas know, "Hey man, we across the street on y'all niggas this week. Just know that. Let's see how it goes." And if you talk ticket sales, if you talk fan base, if you talk kind of everything important to us combat sports fans, boxing beat their ass. But because of what the UFC, what they were doing, I don't know if it's still a motherfucking competition. Like maybe it's a loser in me. But I don't know if it was. I think they both achieved exactly what they wanted to achieve. So Canelo showed that he's still the king of motherfucking um Mexican Independence Day, and then motherfucking Dana and them boys showed that yo, them niggas getting money over there, but I promise you, these niggas nothing like us. Like,
Yeah, I think like Canelo boxing, they had like $17 million gate, biggest in boxing for the year. That's 750K pay-per-view buys potentially. Like Canelo did Canelo things. But Puerto Rico showed up too. It was like a half and half thing.
Puerto
Um,
Rico pulled up.
but the spear is gonna, it's kind of like you look at it like movies, box office. Like there's gonna be like the Canelo one won the box office for the year or whatever, the bigger box office hit. But then whenever we get to the Oscars and who had the better story, like I think what the spear did, it's gonna it's gonna stand the test of time, and it's gonna
Yeah.
be talked about 5 years from now, especially if it gets implemented into other shows and things like that. It'll be like, remember the very first Sphere? Like that was the one that's now, because of that, other promoters and other companies pulled from that idea. Like that I think that why the Sphere is probably going to hold more weight as the years go on.
Oh no, boxing comes to the spirit, kid. There's no way Turk saw that shit and said, "Oh, I'm not doing this with my people."
Yeah, Canelo,
No
but
way. No way. I
Canelo, but
think. I think. No. I think. Yeah. Yeah. Canelo Bud in the spirit would go crazy.
that would be the generational like. The,
Yeah.
I
That
but
would have made the Manny Pacquiao Floyd Mayweather fight worth it. Like if they had fought like they did, but it was in the sphere, niggas would have been like, I don't care. I can't control the niggas'
I get
strategy.
fucking movie before they walk out and shit. Like what?
That would have been a generationally different.
Keep
Like
paying for years off of that one show.
facts. Like niggas, and not just Floyd. Like everybody that was in got broken off on that because you understand and then anybody they sell the replay, the pay per view to, they're gonna drop a doc to it. Like that's what I'm waiting for when that
Behind
documentary
the
drops.
scenes.
When that document, because you seen how nice that fighting documentary was. Like if motherfucking once this doc drops and shows all the fucking growing pains, oh my gosh.
Yeah,
It's gonna be
they're gonna be like 3 weeks out, and somebody accidentally spilled coffee on a computer and like wiped everything, so they had to rebuild it from scratch. Like type, like you didn't even know, like type
but
shit.
these niggas are probably gonna show like the original like estimation on how much this was gonna cost. And then after like analyzing all how big they want it and what they need, they're gonna show Dana's face when he had to call the fucking Saudis and was like, oh damn, fuck. I
Yeah,
didn't expect like to go like this.
but I mean, I think that's what also leaves why the MMA side, they love the spear, but the show, it's always how you finish. And the fact that it was kind of the test of the Sugar Sean stardom, how big of a star can he put this fucking show on the back? And overall, a lot of people were upset, not at the spear, but they felt like the co-main and main event were duds. Uh, I don't think so. I also am just, we were big on Merab. So, like, I was just so happy to see Merab get the gold. And, like, I'm a betting man. Definitely helped my bank account, like, seeing the two people I picked in the co main and main event win. So, that might also be why I enjoyed the card so much. But people were comparing it to, like, the Pierre last card where everything was decisions and boring fights leading up to like the last two fights, and the last two fights banged so hard no one gave a fuck about the forget it. Everyone was, oh, the card Pierre saved it, this card's fucking phenomenal, best card of the year. And this card was kind of the opposite. It was banger after banger after banger on the fucking prelims, and all the way up to the Diego Lopez Ortega fight. And then co-main and main event just slowed down. You got the full 25-25. You got 50 minutes worth of fighting there, which
Yeah. This is one of those things you just can't control that part. Like I was just so happy that nobody pulled out. Like I really feel like they probably told niggas like, yo, bro, if you pull out, bro, I'm never booking you again.
facts, right? They were, yeah.
Because
Especially
you
when you
couldn't
find
fuck
out
this.
how much time, 12 days out is how long you would be able to pull out and find a new fighter because it takes 12 days for them to render the production team to render them a video for the Sphere. So,
and if you don't know what rendering is pretty much just loading for that bitch to finish exporting, and then because this shit is frame by frame, motherfuckers. Like you're doing this frame by frame, so like there's 5,000, 10,000 plus frames. Like it's 24 frames a second, kid. Like you're doing this frame by frame at the largest level it's ever been done at. 12 days minimum just to export it. Like if I spelled your name wrong, Paul, we have just for me to fix that C is gonna take 12 days.
motherfuckers is getting murdered over some bullshit like that.
Oh, you're stupid fired. Stupid fired. Cause they're probably gonna
You're
fire
gonna
the
have
whole
to
department.
redo it yourself, and then you're fired after you're done. Like,
Yeah. And then they're probably gonna fire your department because two people had to approve that first.
imagine, and oh, but that's Dana White right there. He personally do fire on that one.
Yeah, kid, like what?
We gotta run these
What
fights.
the fuck did you just call Terrence Crawford?
They got that motherfucker in a box shipped somewhere right now. Whoever fucked that up.
No, they probably laughed at his ass. They probably, and you know what the worst part is? They didn't want to call nobody out, but because of how to the T this production was, you know exactly who did it.
Yeah.
Like you know exactly who was in charge of that.
You know the person, like the other team members on the staff that were like working, that was watching the cameras at the same time, and they saw that fuck up pop up, but they were like fuck, like
I think everybody
Steve's
laughed.
ass is toast.
No, bro, I'm not gonna lie. I think that was just because it felt like such a genuine mistake, and I swear they played the song, kid. Like, so I feel like it went from you like the high five and the yo, we got this, yeah, everybody. There's some nigga in the truck over talking about some stupid motherfuckers. They coming, and then everybody celebrated. Hey,
They
they
popping
not like us.
champagne, man.
They not like us. They not like us. You're like, hey, cut that shit. Nigga, that's Terrence Crawford.
What?
Nigga, did you just call? I promise you, I bet you somebody, and I bet you somebody from the West Coast too. Hey, yo, blood, did you just call Terrence Crawford's mother? Did you call my nigga Bud? Fucking K-Dot?
Yeah. Well, run down these fights. Only 10 of them.
Oh shit, there were fights on this card.
A
I was watching the spear the whole time.
lot of decision. We have Raul Roses Jr.
Yeah, me and we gotta talk about your dog. How do you feel about that fight? Cause I ain't see it, man.
Oh, he just did the same. He's just getting better. And my biggest takeaway is he's getting pause. He's getting bigger. He's not just
He's getting thicker, bro.
Right. You gotta remember he came in at like 17 years old. Now he's 19. He was 17. They were saying that he didn't even have to cut weight for 135. Like he was walking around at like 136 and would just lose a half a pound and be at 135. So now that he's walking around more 150, you can see it. Like he's a lot bigger of a fighter. So that only helps his wrestling. He already had the technique and explosiveness. So like the fact that now he has the power and that helps his fight. Like he's landing more powerful shots on the top. So he's growing. He's gonna be a force to be reckoned with. I think in a few years.
Yeah, he's getting that grown man strength. In the wrestling game, that shit is tragic because like there be niggas that be like 15 Paul with grown man strength sometimes. Like I used to beat my meat a lot, right? So motherfucker, I had grown man grip strength. So like I was one thing, like if I had your wrist kid, I wasn't giving that up. Like that's mine now. Like I can grip that thing, kid. And it's funny because I could only do it on my right, not my left. But
wonder why.
So motherfucking him growing as a wrestler, him growing because you only fine tune your own technique, and as long as you're fine, because Jordan Burroughs just fucking has just made his 12th world team. Like as long as you fine tune your technique and become just a more all around better, smarter fighter, your instincts are faster. Your scrambling continues, and your chain wrestling never slows down. You're only gonna get better until your body breaks down.
Yeah, he's only 19 too, and I think he's doing it the smart way. Like the C Rod was a really good fight, and he lost that fight, and he was they talked about it. The commentating team, I guess, interviewed him, and he brought up that fight. And he said that because of that loss, that it only made him better as a fighter because before he wasn't taking MMA. He was undefeated, and he was how remember when he first came in, he was clowning everybody and
Yeah.
saying how easy it is and da, da. So when he took the first loss, it made him like slow down and realize like don't be an arrogant asshole. Like everyone can have a bad day. Like you don't know what the hell people like what's going on in these fights.
And,
Like and
and he did it in Miami. He
yeah,
got tried in front of
and
the hoes.
whenever you started, like, it's almost like your anime character you didn't fuck with. But then, like as the season progresses, they give him a solid like redemption arc, and now he's a guy. You're like, I kind of fuck with this guy. He changed his ways. That's how I'm starting to feel about Raul.
Poppy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, like stop hating on my nigga Midoriya. Now this nigga his number two.
You also gotta remember what you were doing at 17. You know how like arrogant you are as a
I
young,
was, I
and
was,
then you
I was
like real life kind of smacks you around a little bit, and you're like,
I just told niggas I was beating my meat to the point where niggas couldn't get out of my wrist grip,
yeah,
my wrist control. Versus my dog over here, he's in the UFC. Like there's levels to this
yeah.
shit. And then you also got to remember Dustin lost to Connor, Max lost to a few young niggas. Like Charles Oliveira lost. Charles Oliveira niggas were about to kick that nigga out the fucking UFC. Like young fighters need to go through those growing pains to become great.
Another young fighter that had a couple growing pains. Joshua Van was the next fighter. He uh
Whoa,
he got this was honestly fight of the night early until some of the other fights started happening.
that shit was phenomenal. This shit was
Yeah, Ager hit him with a couple combos in the first round. I thought Van was done. I was like, damn, bro, Van's on a couple more parlays. Like, it's gonna be back to back L's. I think it's back to back L's. But then second round, he hits him with a mean counter, and then Ager had a true Mexican chin, and he would just coast it, and then he landed a vicious counter himself. Like, and not
fat, fat.
duking it out, but then started wrestling, mixing it up. But yeah, this was a great fight.
Nah, this fight was fucking phenomenal, and this kind of started setting the tone for everything after that.
Facts,
This
like
was the shit. It really set the tone for everything after that. I felt like I forgot I don't have my headphones in. What's wrong with me?
because Raul, is a big favorite, so we kind of expected him to win, and we knew he was gonna buy how. Like we rinse and repeat. Joshua Van, this was the fight where it started off shaky, so we were sitting there like he gave some real deal fight vibes. Like oh fuck, like deep waters. You can't coach
Facts.
decision now. You got to go out there and get a win.
Facts.
Edgar also put up a good
Facts.
fight. He got a match, and both these boys, neither one got knocked down, even though I felt like I thought one of them did get knocked down by the way they were fighting, but I guess not. Then our next fight, like, even the women brought it. Ketlin Souza was one of the biggest dogs, plus 400 underdog against Jasmine Jaggery. I know I fucked that up, but she gets the submission in the first round. She gets the knockdown, and in the moment she knocked her down, she jumps on the neck, gets the rear naked choke, and it kind of a sudden flash finish. First round, 3 minutes into it.
Damn, I didn't see this fight.
The Ketlin Souza.
Yeah, this was one of those. The spear wasn't on fight yet, so I wasn't on.
Yeah, biggest underdog on the card, I think. Maybe only Raul probably was a bigger favorite in his fight, but yeah, she was plus 400 underdog, and that shit. It's such a flash drop too, like pow dropped, and didn't even hesitate, like this pounced on the back. I was like, okay, she knew what she wanted.
She came ready. She seen the spear. She knew what time it was. She knew how much niggas paid. This was a good fight to make the name known. I think she might have did that.
And then for arguably the one of the KOs of the card, Ignacio Bahamondes getting the first round KO over Manuel Torres. Not dropped him twice, and when he's getting away, he catches him one second time, gets the knockout. Got to bring that up. It was nothing crazy of a fight. We got to bring it up because it's only one of the two finishes on the card. Then we get into the featured prelims. Norma Doom versus Irene Aldana.
I thought it was perfect, kid. This was a fight. This was a fight.
I told y'all, big Norma, big dump
You
truck dude.
did. You did. But I was telling you, bro, I don't want to refall Aldana. I was like, yo, I saw her. I understand she fought Amanda Nunes. Don't get me wrong. But I was like, bro, she did not do anything to impress me in that fight. So I can't root for her on this next one. I can't root for her, even though I don't know who Dumont is like that.
Who, Aldana?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Yeah, I remember, but I wish Romeo was here because Romeo was talking big stuff. Because I was saying, first of all, this fight's gonna go to decision, which it did, and he was like, "No, no, Irene gonna be laying some big." Irene got popped, and I was like, "But Norma's gonna like win on every aspect," and he was like talking about Irene. If don't box with Irene, Irene's gonna has the hands. And fucking Irene got cut up, bro. That was the nastiest cut since the RoboCop cut. Like that's gonna be
That's the worst I've seen.
that. Yeah, it's worse than RoboCop, honestly. Like that shit.
That's it. I'm talking about. I don't know how you can attempt to close that there. Like the fact that she didn't quit. Shout out her. But yeah, immediate going to the hospital. Like not even questions about it. We got to go put some staples in your head, Brody.
Yeah, that shit was vicious. My dad had just caught. I was like, the girls are fading. He's like, oh, I'm about to tune on now, and I was like, Dad, like I don't like because I don't talk about like he only cares about the big fight. He don't give a fuck about nothing else. He's super cash. He don't watch UFC or boxing unless it's like Canelo or some big fighter fight.
And you know what I love about people like your dad? Those are the niggas that pay for the cards. We all pay for the cards, but they
Yeah,
pay
yeah,
for the cards.
yeah. They'll get the extra parties for everything too. But I fucking told I was like, you gotta tune in right now because this is the this is blood everywhere. And I'm on the phone hearing him get this shit going. Oh my god! Like that's I'm just like yeah, like she is gush. I'm like I wouldn't have told you to do that right now unless it's for good reason.
And you know what's the craziest thing to me about the UFC and like what makes UFC athletes just different than every other type of athlete in the world to me is the fact that you have to walk in after that fight. There's somebody else's blood all over this bitch. And you have to focus on that motherfucker across the cage for you. Like that's just a like when that door closes, it is something different.
Yeah, and then not like, and there's also like there's no teammates, there's no one to help. Like you are in there for 15 minutes, and if you find out in the first five that that person's better than you better that game plan, bro. You better whatever the fuck you game plan was working because
And you know the old saying,
they're
everybody.
stuck all night.
I was gonna say, you know the old saying, everybody has a game plan so they get punched in the mouth.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a great way to fucking start the card. Now I really felt like I was in Mortal Kombat.
Then we had Ronaldo Rodriguez putting on for Mexican Brothers, getting the win over Odd Osborne. This was a good fight. Osborne got the early knockdown, and I was like, oh shit. But I felt like that just woke up Rodriguez, who didn't want to turn it on, and it was his fight there from there on.
Facts. Fucking facts. Bro, I mean, Odie Osborne. So the coolest thing was at the press conference. Them boys was talking that shit. So
Yeah,
they
yeah.
was so it started turning into a little motherfucking like
Not in my mind. Oh,
because like Odie Osborne, I was starting to get him confused with Manel Kate for a second, kid. So like when Odie Osborne comes in there, he was fucking him up, and then like that first round, he was fucking him up the whole round. Second round,
believe first round.
yeah, I don't know how Rodriguez even survived the first round, to be honest. And Rodriguez just turned that bitch up halfway through the second and just kept his foot on the gas. I
Yeah,
was like, because that was a tale of two fights. Like it's like you said, it's not you start type finish, but that was definitely a tale of two different fights.
it's similar to like the Joshua Van fight when Joshua Van got popped in the first round, and you're sitting there, oh, he's done. Like he's getting outboxed, and then all of a sudden he just turns it up and like at flawless second half of the fight to win.
And Rodriguez is also one of the two Mexican fighters that won on this card.
That's true. That was another thing that it was Raul and him. Next
So
fight. This fight was down. This is fight of the night. This is up there fight of the year. Daniel Zellhuber, Esteban Ribovic. Split decision goes to Ribovic. Uh, whoa, boy, this was a war. Like
that was scary, kid. This shit was the essence of what we wanted this card to be.
100%. Like the Zell Hopper gets the knockdown. When he gets the knockdown, I'm thinking, okay, this is it. Like then like Rivovic, these people just had like different modes. Like this, where did this come from?
The spear will do that to you.
Yeah, it brought it out, bro. It brought him out because Rivovic snapped. Fucking wait, this fight was bloody too, I believe.
Yep.
They hugged out afterwards, which like every war always ends like that. Like I love that. I think that's the best part about UFC is like after the war, it could be the most brutal, bloody, most badass war. They always hug like immediately. Like there's smiles on their face, like yeah, we fucking just put on a show. Like fucking. I'm kind of upset that someone had to lose this fight. Type of vibes.
How it goes, man.
Yeah, fucking fight of the night for sure. Like I said, might be up there for fight of the year. And this fight honestly helped the spear. Like if this is what the main event type of entertainment would have been, like I think the spear would have blew up.
If that was the main event of any card, that was for sure would have blew it up. That was a war, kid.
Then we get into our co-main. Not co-main. We got one more. My bad. I want to forget about this one. But
whoa.
Diego Lopez. Unanimous decision doesn't say enough for what he did to Brian Ortega.
Vamos, Brazil!
Yeah, 30-27, 30-27, 30-26. I think 30-26 is warranted. That overhand right he landed on Ortega. Like Ortega tries to throw like a double jab as he comes in. He gets hit with an overhand right that almost sits him down. Like he lucky, like he caught himself where he got dropped. But like, yeah.
Isn't Diego Lopez like half Mexican, half Brazilian, or something like that?
Yeah.
Gangster.
This was the equivalent of any of our football fans, though, what the Saints did to the Cowboys last week.
Facts.
Their start to finish was at one-sided.
Bro, you seen how fresh my dog was. And that boy was fired up, kid. That boy came in that bitch. They said usually he comes in this bitch. Yeah, ha, ha, ha. I'm Diego Lopez. I'm Smiles. Nah, that nigga came in ready to kill some shit. This motherfucker, they say he was looking at Dana screaming, "I want my title shot." Like,
hey,
that boy. There's gonna be a documentary on the run that this motherfucker went on. Because I forgot that he lost on the Contender Series and then picked up a fight at the last second. And then he's been on the run ever since. Lost and been on a run ever since.
He is like I don't know. Casual fans probably don't know him, but like MMA fans are willing to die for Diego Lopez. Like you can put him, yeah. Like even whenever he beats your favorite fighter, like Ortega is one of my favorite fighters. Like I still fucking Diego Lopez.
That's a real dude, kid. That's a real dude. He's doing waves. There's gonna be stories told about the run that he goes on.
Oh shit! Anthony Joshua lost.
Damn.
I called it.
Remember back when he was him.
No, but then we got to move on to the next one. Then this is where I thought was the co-main event. Co-main event, Valentina gets her belt back over Alexa Grasso. And this time kind of no questions asked. Like she dominated with her wrestling. This is what a lot of the fans didn't like. Also was that like this was 16 minutes control time. 8 of 12 takedowns, pretty effortless. Those are great numbers right there. Not a lot of significant strikes for either party because it was, just a lot of just fill in the pad stats type of strikes. But yeah, I think that's a clean sweep. Like they can run it back. I don't care. I do like Grasso too, but I think Valentina showcased that she's the best in flyweight in the world.
Yeah, for sure. Like not even a question. And I apologize for talking my shit to my main bitch like that.
Yeah, you was like big Valentina. The next thing you know, you was also this drunk shit.
I was like, nah, man, Grasso all the way. Grasso. Because the thing about this entire card is that this is the last Mexican fight. I think they did this because one, Dana grew up loving Mexican boxing, so he's always feel like there's a soft part of for the Mexican culture, and he would love to integrate it in as much as he can in the UFC to have that prestige that boxing has with it. But They missed an opportunity. They missed a chance when they had Yair, they had Brandon Moreno, Alexa Graf. That shit kind of came by accident, it felt like for them. So this right here was their swag. Them trying to, they wish they could have did this at this time a year and a half ago. And it would have been so fun. But this is what they motherfucking had. So shout out to Grasso for being the lone holding it down Mexican champion. Don't forget the run. The same way that when the Three Kings ended, it's like it happens.
Yeah, no, that was because they were also teasing it. Like they just started going to Mexico whenever the boys were winning and shit. So like, and I felt like I didn't get to see any like none. I wanted to see all three on the same card. We never got that. Yeah,
Yeah, and then they said that more than over a year ago. Dana said, "Yeah, we dropped the ball. We dropped the ball. We have this many Mexican champions." It was like around before International Fight Week last year. It was like we have this many Mexican champions and we haven't done shit. We dropped the ball.
yeah, and then our main event was kind of the same thing as our co-main event. Just
I loved every. Oh, let me tell the story. See, y'all over here, y'all did it. You had a boring main event. I was at David Buster because one thing we were watching the card, right, and I was like, "Yo, I need to see this on 20 screens. I don't think I can just watch this on one screen." And David Buster's was deep as fuck, Powell. I'm talking about all of these motherfuckers were here for the Canelo fight. Everybody, Mexican families, them boys is deep as fuck, chilling. They had their Mexican soccer shirts on. I was like, oh, I can see why you would wear this to a Canelo fight. Like it was out there. But by the main event, it was just the UFC. People are fans of violence, UFC and violence. And I'm drunk because everybody knows I love them David Buster's little drinks. So like I'm over here trying the new like cheap $7 menu. They got like a frosty coconut, a rum punch. Oh yeah, I'm in that bitch drinking. So by the second one, I'm kind of feeling myself. So we in David Buster's and that boy Merab comes out, and I'm like, my dog, there go my dog. That's my dog. That's my dog. But nobody's saying nothing. They're just like, oh, drunk niggas, excuse me. And then Sean O'Malley comes out, and I'm, boo! Boo!
good, good,
I like
good.
knowing that Paul does this so much. This is fun.
This is the best,
Boo!
best
Fuck
thing you
Sean
can do.
O'Malley. And nobody's saying nothing, right? So then Bruce Buffer does the introduction. So I go, finally, it's time. Like I'm lit. Like I am drunk, Paul. So it's funny. I only had 2 drinks and some shots before. So motherfucking we get to then it gets to the point to where Merab comes up, so I'm like, that's my dog. That's my dog. I'm lit, you feel me? And then I come to find out everybody else at David Buster's are Sean O'Malley fans. Because when Bruce Buffer does Sean O'Malley, everybody starts clapping. Whoa, let's go, Sean. And I was like, I look at my dog and I said, hey, yo, I told you every time we step out somewhere to watch the fights, there's always a nigga against me. There's always a nigga against me. But this is the motherfucking time we bust they fucking ass. So I'm in this bitch talking my shit. I'm not even sitting down. I don't think I didn't sit down not one time for this fight. I'm in this bitch like in the corner. You would have thought I was Aljo, kid. I'm in this bitch. Hey, what you doing? What you doing? Settle. Slow down. What the fuck do you mean if you let this nigga motherfucker go? Hold that nigga down. What the fuck you kissing nigga back for? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Work. I'm looking like, what are you doing? What are your hands? Wrestle. So I'm on court coach. You feel me? I'm on the couch coach. Like I'm holding it down. And now the Sean O'Malley fans is getting lit, especially in the 5th round when after he get that liver kick. He's like, come on, Sean, you need the fucking knockout. Fuck Merab. Like everybody was just on his ass, kid. And it was very similar whenever we go to sporting events and like the Dolphins. Remember we went to go see the Dolphins and the Falcons started losing. So all them Dolphin fans are around me were starting to be like, yeah, fuck the Falcons.
It was no prior.
I'm telling you, kid, very similar, right? So now the decision comes out, and I'm watching these niggas walk out. The second they say, and new champion Merab, I'm talking about niggas just walking out and throws fall. And I'm just hitting with that. Hey.
You
Goodbye.
look at half, probably more than half, especially now with how legal and widespread gambling is. More than half, I would say probably a strong 60, 70% of those people also bet probably. It's a big fight. They probably don't know much. You only bet on one person, so they probably bet maybe like $150, whatever they would consider a large sum. I'm gonna go enjoy my night. I'm gonna win it all back when my boy wins. So, like, you're spinning at the bar with the mentality of I'm gonna get it back when Sean wins this fight. Like live.
Facts.
So
And I'm talking about
they get
I'm talking
it.
about niggas is grabbing plates, Paul. Niggas is
Then we
getting
get the
big
nacho
plates.
appetizer. Do you want
I'm
the
watching.
burger or the extra large with the guac and sour? Yeah, give me the one extra large with guac and sour. Like they're going crazy.
Paul, I didn't spend a single dollar on this game, right? On this fight, but I'm looking like, hey, don't even get me no fries. Like I might not be balling like that at the end of the night. You feel me? Man, I should have bet that house somewhere off.
That's what then so they're leaving not only like paying their bill, but like they lost twice. Like they imagine having to pay two bills, like for food you didn't even eat. Because your dumbass bet the same amount that you did on the like yeah, that's one of them hard nights to swallow.
Nah, and it
As
was
a
crazy.
Raw fan, because actually was we screaming it on the pod like this is the most free money on the plus 100 underdog Merab. And if you're a demon like me, Merab to go to the decision plus 175. Like go get that little extra little slice of bread at the end of the night, which definitely cashed it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. If I had bet on Merab, I bet you he would have lost. Like I would have bet the rent money 750 kid lost.
Kyle, I woke up, sent you the Kyle messaged me with his Sean picks. I was like, you Sean's about to get absolutely dog walked. Like that's all I responded to him. He was like, nah, bro, Sean's gonna do. I'm like, all right, Coach Kyle.
Coach Kyle.
I'll see you tonight around midnight. Actually, like 1:30 in the fucking morning.
Facts.
But yeah, overall good. The fights were good. Our boys won. And the spear itself kicked fucking ass. I don't think you can ask for more than that.
Facts.
If you want more than that, you're being greedy or you're a Sean fan.
Facts. Like it just be like that sometimes. Your dude loses. I watched both lose twice to Islam. It happens.
And Ollie. And
We don't
it's
bring that up. We don't bring that up. Why you gotta bring up other dogs?
your faves have been going down bad.
Bro, I've been going outside, bro. You see how big a deal it was for this nigga one kid? I was so happy. You should have seen me. I was like, yeah, give my dog the belt. Yeah, go ahead and fucking cry.
You
Go
needed
ahead
that.
and
Yeah, fucking
cry.
cry. You
I was lit. I'm telling you, bro. I've been on something else.
needed that one. Kev
Like,
needed
the
that.
only nigga that's been looking out for me for my mental health is Alex. Alex is the only nigga that cares how I'm doing, dog. All these other niggas have been getting washed.
Good. The wash allegations are fucking crucial.
I'm like, even last week I picked fucking Gilbert Burns. I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah. Yeah, Kev, good. I'm glad to see you back on the dub streak.
Bro, I'm watching the contender series. I'm trying to find new young niggas, kid. All my niggas getting washed.
Yeah, find a new young talent. I'll help you. We got a nice little break from UFC. Nothing. We got back-to-back contender series, so go ahead watch that. But we'll be back for UFC Paris later this month. Moicano versus Benoit Saint Denis. Nice little Paris card. But yeah, UFC Noche was fucking a blast. Anything you gotta say before we head out?
Shout out life, man.
Shout out life, and we'll be back. Stay tuned. Boxing week to week going crazy. NFL week to week going crazy, and UFC will be back later this month. But as always, go down and like and subscribe. Comment how you felt on this card. I'm Paul Pickle Winham. That's Kevin Waterboy Savoy. And if y'all didn't know, now y'all know, motherfuckers.